Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. Swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the size, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Jago beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. What's up, guys? An amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the OnChain Hour, and this one is going to be spectacular, guys, because we are days, hours away from an exciting bull run. I truly believe that, guys. This is just a minor setback. These guys are buying. This is what they do. They're not gonna rip it up and buy. They're gonna casually buy and just wait. So I still believe that we are in a second week of a bull run. And you might be like, what are you talking about? Well, we're going to show you a crypto bubbles right now. If you just go to the weekly, zoom out a little bit, you will see it. It's hard to imagine right now. I get it. It's hard to imagine. But this time next week, you guys will all be saying, Shizzy was right. And it's okay. I'm okay with being a little bit wrong in the short term because I'm going to be right in the very long term. I'm going to be right in this 10-week bull market, and we are in week 2, and I'm excited to bring that to you guys. I'm excited with GameStop having to go into the market now and potentially buy Bitcoin and potentially take out loans against their stock and buy more Bitcoin. This is the biggest news catalyst that I think we've ever seen because the degens are going to come in. We're going to see the meme stock traders enter the markets again, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun, and we have a great show for you guys. So without further ado, bring my partner here. As always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's going on, man? How's everything with you? I know we're both really bullish on this GameStop news.
Yeah, I'm bullish on it from different perspectives or different angles as well, right? For the space overall, it puts Bitcoin into the news, and then the people that pay attention to TradFi and the crypto space, they're probably thinking, hey, this could be a good opportunity, honestly, to get into possibly GameStop as well at this price. It's not super cheap, but it's also well below its kind of all-time high, right? So if they follow something similar to what MicroStrategy is doing and Michael Saylor is consulting them, right, then it could be really good for them and in turn Bitcoin as well, because the more companies that have success by creating this Bitcoin treasury, whatever you want to call it, just acquiring Bitcoin, the more companies are going to do this, right? So you got MetaPlanet from Japan doing it. Now you got GameStop. If they have some success in terms of their stock and everything in general, like just overall kind of energy, then we'll see more companies do this and be public about it. So
Yeah, 100%. Every single company in the stock market will eventually own Bitcoin. It's just who's first and who's last, right? And it's gonna be funny though when GameStop is a $1 trillion company one day because of the moves they're making right now. Right, so it's going to be pretty insane that the GameStop stores will never go away. They shouldn't be there. Anytime I go to a
they're just
GameStop,
gonna have Bitcoin ATMs in there. That's it.
seriously, like I end up going to this one pizza place, and there's a GameStop that's not far, and I walk by the GameStop just for like nostalgia. Like I used to stand out of here waiting for Madden to come out and stuff like that. Like I remember, I walk by it and there's nobody in there. It's just every single time. Like I'm like, oh, wait, there's a person. Oh no, he works there. Like it's just like it's crazy, but it's because of the meme stock. It's because it's a meme stock. That's the reason why it's still around.
Very true, very true. And look, I do know from people that have actually done like meetings with the CEO of GameStop and stuff like that. They've been looking for like what direction do we go into now, right? Like we had this meme like success actually that saved the company, and that allowed them to pay off their debt, and now they have this free flow capital. But they might not be the best at like managing a company and all this stuff, but it might be, hey, just buy Bitcoin. That's the safe thing to do. Yeah. Bring the value up in your brand, and then whatever that next direction will be, let it come naturally instead of trying to force it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask 90 Bitcoiners out of 100, right? What does MicroStrategy actually do? They'd be like, they don't know.
Buy Bitcoin.
They buy Bitcoin. Right?
They have a business underneath. Bitcoin company.
That's kind of what it is. But they have a business underneath, right? So that's why they're able to be successful, because they have that cash flow underneath everything to kind of keep buying Bitcoin. GameStop really doesn't have that. GameStop's only real success is selling their stock, right? So it's just kind of like, so we'll see if they can be that MicroStrategy, but the news is still really bullish. Let's kind of get into it. GameStop's board has unanimously approved an update to its investment policy to include Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. On this news, GameStop GME rises 15% after announcing it will buy Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. So they have not purchased that Bitcoin yet. But that announcement, in my opinion, could do incredible for Bitcoin's price action and GameStop. People are thinking they're just going to put $1 billion in there. I think they're going to like sell stock or do something Michael Saylor's thinking about doing. I think you said this to me earlier. And I think it's going to be a bigger announcement than previously thought. It's not going to be just $1 billion.
I don't know. They have $4.6 billion, I think, in free flowing capital, right? So it would be dumb, in my opinion, for them to, utilize all of that. I think that'd just be stupid in general. Like you should never liquidate your entire free flowing capital. But doing, $1 billion would be a massive statement in general. But I think they're gonna try to be very strategic with this, right? Allow kind of Saylor to guide them, as well as like a consultant or advisor, whatever role he's taking there, to kind of get into like a mini version of what they were able to do, right? And it did take, they were buying in 2022 heavily, right? That's whenever they first started to really be aggressive with it. So I don't know if this kind of like 3-point plan or whatever they are going to call it is going to take 2 years or whatever, right? It could, but it could be, well worth it for their company, because if they're able to leverage, kind of the same strategy that MicroStrategy used, then they could be in a really good spot here in the next year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, and one thing about rich people and companies, right? They don't use their own money. I don't think they're going to use any of that for $4 billion, right? I think they're going to take loans out against stock, sell stock. I think they're going to come in a different way. I think they're not going to touch their $4 billion, in my opinion, but they are going to potentially sell more stock into the market, potentially take loans against that stock, maybe take loans against the business, period, right? Or bring on investors. I think this is going to be a lot bigger than people really believe. I think they're going to become this and who says they're going to stop at Bitcoin either, right? Like maybe they will. I don't know. But Michael Saylor welcomes GameStop chairman Ryan Cohen to the team Bitcoin in a post after the company announced it will include Bitcoin as treasury asset. So Saylor immediately ran to his computer or sat on his phone and was like, "Congratulations, Team Bitcoin." This to me, in my opinion, this is bigger for Bitcoin than it is for GameStop, because now we have a guy like Ryan Cohen who the stock degens, right? The guys who buy the meme coin stocks and stuff like that, they follow Ryan Cohen. Anything he gets into, they get into. So we're going to potentially bring over a lot of people who maybe were in Bitcoin in 2021 who actually pivoted away back into Bitcoin, back into crypto.
Very, very true statement there. It could definitely attract people to it. Could be like the new hip thing, kind of in a sense, right? But I do think that it will be more of a gateway because the people that invested in GME during that meme coin or meme stock craze, right? They were the everyday people, right? So they might just kind of say, "Oh, maybe I should take a look at Bitcoin and crypto and probably try to get into some of these other alts as well." So it could be definitely like this gateway movement. But Strategy, I should call them because they rebranded, but Michael Saylor and Strategy, they're doing big things because this is just his influence kind of taking place here because he's been working with Cohen, I believe, for the last 6 months, probably longer, kind of just talking to him and stuff. But they're also, Strategy's also teamed up with Bitcoin Magazine. They're trying to get like corporate world into this kind of, hey, look, guys, if you have shaky ground right now, this might be a way to kind of build some foundation, reestablish your foundation.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move along here. Colin Talks Crypto. So this is the first person to come out with the money supply and everything, right? With the M2 and stuff. He had that chart came out. So he actually came out with a statement because he's projected the 25th, and he says Bitcoin price has formed what I would consider a possible short-term local top pattern. 3 daily candles with top upper wicks. This doesn't mean Bitcoin needs correct for long. It could just be a matter of days, or it could be a little longer. Combine this with the pattern fitting of the global M2 versus Bitcoin chart, and we will see a similar forecast. The mini rally that fails. See circle area in second chart. Okay, so this is the circle area in second chart. So this is kind of where we are now. He's thinking, right? So this is the M2 money supply. This is so this is the 30th of April. This is April 25th now. When we looked at this chart last time, I don't remember it being April 25th.
Yeah, I thought it was March 25th as well. I did see Jason Williams hit that March 20 or post about the March 25th date as well. Maybe this is just another 30 days outside of that, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe what is he saying that that's now the blast off date, April 30th?
Yeah, he's saying that we're going to be in this mini correction. I don't know. I don't remember this the last time we brought this up. I could have sworn, you know what I mean, but I don't believe this at all. I think this is I just don't. I believe we're not going to see this. We're not going to see this. He's waiting another 30 days.
Despair.
No, not having it. Not having it.
I mean, like that little bear trap, right, or whatever. That's what it looks like right there. But yeah, that would definitely kind of bring the people back and be like, oh, we just got faked out, right? Is that why you don't want that?
Well, I don't. Not that I want that. I just don't see it, right? So for me, it's all about like people that are here. Like it felt like in February nobody was paying attention. Like if I put out a post, I would get between 4, 10, 15 likes. But now it's like every post is getting 20, 25 likes because it's bullish. I'm just a bullish guy. Everything I post is bullish, and people are feeling it again. So you got to remember too. Colin Talks Crypto. He was a guy who said Ethereum to $400 in the bear market. He was a guy who said Bitcoin to $11,000, $10,000, and it never hit, right? So I just think that when he's a little bit bearish, he's wrong, but when he's bullish, he's on. Because like in the last cycle, he was pretty correct on a lot of his statements, and a lot of his stuff when he's bullish. So I think that I just can't see this. I just can't see us going back down to 78,000. I just can't see it.
Well, the one thing that I will say is it's really hard to hit the nail right on the head. Right. And that's what everybody wants is to, be right to a T, which is really not realistic. Right. But that is a bit weird. He probably saw that like we're at March 25th right now. And, it seems like there's a little bit of a pullback for the day today so far, just to kind of start off with. But that's kind of how volatile it's been. So maybe he's just kind of getting that PTSD and saying, hey, look, don't worry. That doesn't mean that like we're not going to continue going up. He's putting that buffer there. So
I just can't see a giant June. Like it just doesn't happen. It's very rare, right?
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't happen this kickoff 2025. That's for sure.
Well, well, any June. Like I just don't remember any June being like that bullish. You can even look in DeFi summer. We've never had a big Bitcoin June, right? Like even in 2021, May and June and July were very bearish, and then August was that next leg up. Like I just can't see June, and no one's around in June unless people are going to feel very poor. They're just going to be like, you know what, I can't go on vacation this year. Like unless I just can't say it. I just can't say it. But we'll see. I think the next 10 weeks are going to be upward momentum. It's going to shock. It's going to shock a lot of people. It's going to shock a lot of people.
Shock the
Not
world.
me though. So here. This is something we're going to see continuously in the next couple months. I truly believe this. eToro files for NASDAQ IPO, aiming to raise up to $400 million at a $4.5 billion valuation. So you're going to see crypto company after crypto company get into. So eToro, they're kind of like a mix of both. You can buy stocks, you can buy crypto, you can buy pretty much anything. They have over 7,000 assets, low and transparent fees. This is a crypto company. You ask anyone about eToro, this is one of the few places that you were able to buy XRP when it got taken off a lot of different places. So eToro, they're probably $4.5 billion valuation, pretty insane. But they're not going the coin route; they're going the IPO route. I think you're going to see a lot of companies that don't have a coin right now going the IPO route because I think they can raise more money that way.
And they can just get tokenized anyways in the RWA environment, right? So
yep.
I don't think it matters for institutions like this. And eToro really tried to come out the gate aggressive during the Robinhood craze because they were one of the ones that really tried to kind of compete with them. Because at first Robinhood didn't really have too much competition. They had eToro and Webull, I think, were the only two. I don't know if you remember Webull, but they were also trying to compete. And so I didn't hear too much from them, the past couple years, like a year or whatever, but I think this is big because it makes sense to do this. It's, raise your money, then tokenize as the big entities, whether it's somebody that's related to Ondo or someone that's going to be building with Ondo, because I feel like Ondo is going to have their hands big time in the jar of RWA, like being able to tokenize these stocks, these bonds, all these TradFi securities and stuff like that. So big news for them, and I think they'll do well with this.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I honestly didn't think about that. Like RWA, like you're going to be able to tokenize all the stock. All the stocks eventually will be tokenized. So it doesn't matter. It's actually smarter to go that way. So that way the big boys can buy your bags first. So,
yep.
All right. So Bitcoin sees 2.4 billion in outflows from exchanges, the highest since July of 2024. And we know what was happening in July of 2024. That was the big sell-off from Germany, right? Everyone was really, really bearish at that point because we're at what 50,000. People were saying we're going to go down to 30K, very similar to where we are right now. And for Bitcoin, we did see the next 4 or 5 months were really bullish. We hit 108,000, not far from there, about 4 or 5 months later. So could we possibly see that again? I truly believe that. And with these outflows that are happening right now, there's not enough Bitcoin for big guys to come in and start buying.
So Bitcoin sees 2.4 billion outflows from exchanges. Okay, so I thought that was saying that was being sold down. Okay,
no, that's being withdrawn into hardware wallets. Yeah,
that's good, right? It's like locking them up, lock them up, and then once the demand comes in, it's going. But July 2024, whenever Germany was selling, I think that was like our kind of like bottom of that period, right? Like I think 58, maybe 58K.
No, we hit 49. Yeah.
Did we? 49. Yeah. That was nasty. I bet you they feel really dumb. But so if we saw like a lot of outflows during that time, that was just by happen chance, right? Like you feel like
that was the giant whales buying, and they sold in December. The same whales that bought in July sold in December.
Yeah, but when was Germany selling? Is my point.
July.
Okay, so you're saying the pullback created this like
no, I'm just saying that was a very bearish moment. That was like the bottom, right? And this is very similar. So they're buying now the same as they bought the bottom in July and August, right?
I
So I'm
got
just
you.
basically saying that this is the highest amount of accumulation from big whales that we've seen since July, which marked that bottom for Bitcoin, which is
Yeah.
technically marking the bottom for now.
Yeah, so this would be kind of comparative to the 86, the low 80s be comparative to that like low 50s kind of area is what you're saying.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
they're just putting it away in their ledgers or whatever, however they manage it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's hope that like we don't get that kind of pullback in I guess like in end of March and beginning of April, and we continue up here. But regardless, this could be a part of the this will be a part of the thrust up, right?
Yeah.
Just buying, accumulation, and eventually, you know what happens? Like that demand starts to bust up, or
Yeah.
down. But anyways,
I think that 78 is equivalent to that 48, and I think the bottom was in, and they know it now, and they're going to start buying heavily going forward. But this time's different because there's just not as much Bitcoin on exchanges as there was in July, and
this time's
it's gonna
different.
get.
We should get a shirt that says this time's
Well,
different.
no, it's different because there's the data to prove it. There's not.
I know.
I mean, I can show you the Bitcoin on exchanges is super low compared to what it was in July. I mean, we're down probably 60% since July on the exchanges, on Bitcoin exchanges. So when I say this sounds different, I mean it like there's just not enough Bitcoin this time as there was back then.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying it's like a popular saying in our industry. Be a cool T-shirt.
Well, it's the data. Okay, so Fidelity plans to launch.
Data doesn't always work.
I can no, I'm not saying it works. I'm just saying there's this the Bitcoin on exchanges is super
Go
low.
on, read.
All right, Fidelity plans to launch its own stablecoin, currently in the advanced stage of testing its token per Financial Times. So Fidelity, we just found out that World Liberty is getting into stablecoins, and now Fidelity the very next day comes out, and but they're I mean you've seen USD1 on Binance Smart Chain, so they're about to launch this, and rumor has it they're going to be on Ethereum first to kind of make sure everything works properly. But this is going to be insane because I don't think people understand. There's going to be stable pools, Fidelity and USD1, Fidelity USDC, Fidelity and USDT, right? You're going to see these, and people are going to go from one stable coin to the other. So there's going to be trading fees. People are going to be earning yield on just holding stable coins, and that yield's going to be like 6, 7, 8, 9%. People are going to leave bonds. They're going to leave bonds and go into this is what the governments were worried about. People, why would you hold a bond when you can hold Fidelity and Circle in a stable pool and make more yield than hold a bond?
Yeah. And whenever you hear a new stable coin is being launched, there's always, for me, there's like, okay, who's launching it? Who's the institution behind it? Is there like strong, capital? Is this formidable? Is this institution formidable? And I mean, you can't really get more what BlackRock, I guess, Vanguard, Fidelity is like at that top echelon, right? So this is huge, in my opinion. This is going to be a huge product to onboard their clients, right? And in terms of the bonds, I do think that these large institutions that are coming over from TradFi don't want the bond market to like completely tank, because the economy is, so they're going to probably try to figure out how to roll RWA into that eventually and be a part of their product suite of products, right? But in terms of like stability, you wanted stability. I want stability in our space. This is stability. A Fidelity coming in, bringing a stable coin in.
And I mean, once people realize it's going to take time for them to realize, it's going to take over a year, right? But what's going to happen when you're making 8% yield on 2 stable coins in a stable pool on a decentralized DEX? Like, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get really bad for the bond market, and I don't know what that's going to do to the economy, but they're going to have to do something to make it make the bonds actually more attractive, because this is worrying to a lot of people, and I don't think people understand what this is going to do. I mean, it's free money. When you put USDC and Fidelity stablecoin I mean, I'm very confident in Circle. I'm very confident in Fidelity. There's no downside to that. There's no permanent loss.
There's definitely more confidence, that's for sure. I do think the Fed is going to have to come to a point, and if you notice towards like the end of the election from last year, and even a little bit afterwards, like Jerome Powell wasn't talking about Bitcoin as much, barely, and crypto in general. He kind of smirked at it a little bit, but then if you notice in the beginning of this year, the FOMC meetings and stuff like that, like he's been talking about Bitcoin more, and I think they're going to have to continually embrace it, right? Because like, these products that they help manage to kind of balance things out, they can't take a hit. So they have close relationships with all these, financial institutions. So I do think that they're going to figure something out because they have to. You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of because it's going to be a chain reaction. You know what I mean? At least even if Fidelity and these entities and TradFi offer products globally like more aggressively, they still need the U.S. economy to not suffer to truly have overall success, right? So I think there's going to be a point to where we start to hear the Fed be very friendly towards products and stuff in our space.
Well, the Fed, I mean, the only thing the Fed can do is keep rates high, because the higher the rates, the more yield they're getting for the bonds, right? So it's like, which is not good. So the bonds have never had anything like a stable pool before, like there's never been a safer yield. What happens when Tether sells bonds to get into a stable point with Fidelity? Like, to me, like that's a better backing for that dollars, because it's liquid. I don't got to sell anything. It's liquid. It's a stable pool. I can withdraw it whenever I want. This is absolutely going to change the landscape. Stable pools are going to really change everything. And I think it's a little worrying, honestly, to especially the governments.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they probably have had like a lot of talks and meetings about this, and hopefully they come up,
right?
Yeah, hopefully they have a solution.
Yeah. All right. So SEC chairman nominee Paul Atkins, who's not in yet, discloses $327 million in assets ahead of confirmation hearing scheduled for March 27th, with up to $6 million in crypto investments. So he has about $327 million invested in markets. $6 million of that is in crypto. Paul Atkins, who will be everyone's saying they're going to pass him through. He'll be the SEC chairman, taking over for Gary Gensler right now. There's an interim chairman right now. He's very bullish on crypto as well, but he'll go down to lieutenant. I think SEC chairman, and Paul Atkins will take his spot. But they have the same mindset. Rumor has it too that Paul Atkins and the SEC chairman, I forget his name right now, they're actually in talks every single day to have a easy transition when Paul takes over.
He has $327 million in personal assets.
Yes.
That's wild.
Dude, everyone in Trump's cabinet, he's one of the smaller guys. Like Ludwig has like billions.
Yeah, I knew that.
David Sachs has billions. Like, this guy's on the lower side of Trump's administration.
I mean, he's going to be the SEC chair, but regardless, they just disclose it, right? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot for an SEC chair, in my opinion, right? But then, like, out of that, the very small percentage,
right?
I don't know, probably a lot too. But $6 million of that is in crypto investments, right? Yeah. So, maybe it's just kind of like slowly, but surely, eventually. But who cares? That's his personal thing, right? Like, he's disclosing it. Interesting though. It did kind of make me open my eyes a bit, because I was like, wow, dang, SEC chair.
Yeah.
When you get there, you made it.
Yeah, man. Eric Trump, son of President Trump and a member of MetaPlanet's strategic board of advisors, declares, "I believe in Bitcoin so much." I don't know why I put this in here. I kind of regret it now. But
did you see the video?
You put a video out?
No. Yeah, he put a video. It's basically, this is a quote from the video, right? So
okay.
It was pretty funny. Like, he was just saying, like, basically, what we're doing is very important and special. I believe in Bitcoin so much. But they ate it up. They all that meeting with MetaPlanet was like a conference, and yeah, they're super excited. They're investors, board, everybody. They're just like MicroStrategy 2.0.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing is Eric Trump runs World Liberty, and then Donald Jr. runs the other one, the stock one. What's that called? I can't remember his middle initial.
DJT.
Yeah, he runs DJT, and Barron runs it all. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what Barron does. But,
Barron runs Trump Coin.
Yeah, Barron runs Trump Coin. All right. So the last thing before we get into fear and greed here. So Pump.Fund transferred another 104,000 SOL to Kraken, totaling 2.7 million SOL moved so far, according to Look OnChain. They're not selling it down though. Why do you think Pump Fund is using Kraken to hold their soul. Are they afraid to self-custody? Like, that's the only thing I can think now, because they're not selling it down. They have
How much
option
is
to
Sol
sell it
right
whenever they
now?
want. Sol's about $135. Yeah.
$369 million.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And they probably realize that, like Sol's probably going to go to like 400 to 600, possibly higher.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably DCA out once the official, everybody's like, okay, all season, this is official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like they could easily clear $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's only 3x.
crazy.
That's only a $400 soul. With just what they have in there right now.
I hate that though.
But why do you think they're using Kraken custodian their soul? Like, they're an on-chain company. Like, why do you think they're? I mean, they are selling soul down every week to pay salaries. So you're seeing a very small amount of soul being sold. I mean, when I say small, I mean like tens of thousands of soul. But in the comparison, it's very small to the 2.7 million soul that's sitting there. But they're paying salaries with this. Could that be why? I just don't see why you would put 2.7 million soul on an exchange.
I think it has more to do with not necessarily having like an NPC with like a select couple people or whatever to have that much power, because that's a lot. And then you bring a custodian in that is kind of away from Pump Fund as an institution,
like
right?
A third party.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what Kraken's like. I'm sure they have like custodian corporate agreements or something to where like you get protection for a certain amount if something gets hacked, insurances, all that stuff, right? Because you're talking about $370 million. These guys are probably, before this, they were probably just trenches warriors, you know what I mean? And so they're like, okay, like we made it this cycle, even though like the rest of the space got hurt a lot, but
we hurt the rest of the space.
And we made it. We don't want to lose it, So that's the only thing I can think of, which makes sense to me.
What about yield? Do you think Kraken's paying them any yield?
Yeah.
Or how would a Kraken pay them yield though if they were?
Well, I mean, whatever staking you can do with Solana's chain, and then Kraken has an agreement with them. Hey, look, we're going to take 1.5%. We're going to custody everything, handle everything, all the protections, everything, and whatever, right? While you're waiting for this bull run to officially be on.
Yeah, makes sense. I know that's what Coinbase does. I don't have a Kraken account, so I don't know. But like when I go to Coinbase, when you deposit ETH there, the first option they say would you like to stake this, and you can choose not to, or you can choose to do it. And but I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this is something. Is there a staked version of Sol that potentially Kraken could buy? I don't know. I gotta look more into it. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know much about that.
All right, let's get into the fear and greed here. So last week we were at a 32. Yesterday we were at a 46. Oh man, after you figure this number, I got something to say, but we're a tiny bit higher than maybe the 46 from yesterday.
48.
47.
Oh, okay. You try to give it to me 2 days in a row.
I know. Right, I try to give you a softball.
Tiny means 1 point.
One.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So it was 45 on Monday, 46 yesterday, 47 today. Can we hit 48 tomorrow?
We need to have a really strong second half of the day.
Yeah.
For that to happen. I would say no. I would say the way it's going, we're probably gonna go down, but who knows?
I think we're at 50 tomorrow. Let's go.
There you go.
Positive energy into the world. But let's get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura. We had them on the show yesterday. They're gearing up for their Hemi mainnet launch, but right now you can try out their leverage trading platform on Botonics, the spider chain. All you have to do is go to Artura.finance, make one trade, and then you're added to their raffle. And you guys have an opportunity with Artura, pretty big opportunity. We really hope you guys are taking advantage of that. They're going to do an airdrop. They're going to be on Hemi. You're going to be able to double dip. You're going to be able to potentially get the Hemi airdrop, the Artura airdrop. This is something I want every single person in our community to take advantage of. There's no reason not to. You don't got to even use a lot of money. A few $100 could really probably get you thousands of dollars in airdrops. Want every single person who watches the show to go to Finance today, try out the spider chain. So that way, when they do launch on Hemi, you guys know what's going on. You're not going to make any mistakes. You won't lose any money because right now on Botonics, it's absolutely free. It's a test net, right? So you can't lose anything. You can claim Bitcoin. You can claim 10,000 USDT, and it's kind of fun too. So definitely go over there, try it out, lose the whole 10,000, because when you figure out how to way to lose, when mainnet comes around, you might figure out maybe I shouldn't do that. This is what I don't do, right? And that's a great way to use testnet USDT to figure out what not to do. So when Hemi rolls around, you put a couple $100 in, or whatever you choose, you won't lose it. So definitely take advantage of the testnet, take advantage of what they're bringing to the table, and take advantage of Atora today.
Yep, guys. And if you could help us out before we get into the Bitcoin price action, on YouTube, hit that like for us, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. And on X, share the space for us, guys. We are truly trying to onboard as many people to crypto and Bitcoin as possible. And if you could share the stream on Abstract, we would greatly appreciate that. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action. And I'm going to go over the others chart as well, which is something we've been doing. So it's the top 10 of everything else besides Bitcoin. But we're going to always start with Bitcoin. And this is the hour chart. It's not looking too great, but it's not looking horrible. We've had some, 2 strong wicks to the downside here, but they have been eaten up a little bit. But yeah, you can see kind of through the night and the early morning, we got back up to 88. So the second half of yesterday was kind of a downtrend sell down, right? Then throughout the late hours of the night, and we got back up to 88. And then early this morning, we started to kind of head back down, and that 9:30 bell Eastern time decided, okay, let's keep that going. So basically yesterday I said, if we can keep this kind of chop back and forth, which is what I was kind of looking at, was more of this style, right? I would feel a bit more comfortable with how we're going to head into the weekend. It seems like it did want to kind of break out of that trend a little bit. Now, if we break down below this is definitely going to break trend for sure, because that would be like the low point of, the past couple of days of this week, I would say. So that's something to really kind of look at. This 86, I would say 86,000 point, 86.3. If we break below that, that's probably not going to be too great, right? Heading into the last part of this week. But you can see here on the MACD indicators that the MACD right here looks like the sell pressure is decently strong, right? If this blue line continually goes downwards, then probably gonna have a little bit of a bleed out to the downside. We'll see how strong that continues. So far we have, like I said, kind of bought some of these candles back up. The stochastics on the hour chart, it seems like we're going to be here for a good little minute, maybe the next couple hours, 2 to 4 hours. We just got here not long ago. We're sitting at like a score of 1.8, right? So we got to kind of get this curled back up and head towards that 20-point mark, which is the official oversold territory mark. So yeah, I'm looking for more of kind of a slow kind of bleed down, maybe with some possible choppiness there for the rest of today. The 4 hour, and I said if we could maintain kind of that back and forth with no extremes either way, then we could possibly continue this buy pressure on the 4 hour chart. But that didn't happen, right? So this morning we have officially gone into sell pressure on the 4 hour chart. So how long will the sell pressure last? Will it be kind of a longer period, something like this, or a shorter one like this? I don't know. We're gonna find out here in the next second half of today. But so far it doesn't look too great. It just looks like we're probably have kind of a downtrend with choppiness for the next 2 days. So that would be heading into the weekend, but Friday we could turn that around, right? And that's just what I'm seeing based off of what the trend has been this morning on the hour time frame there. So nothing to be like really scared about or anything like that. I would just say we've had 2 strong days. I would say almost 3 in a row. So Sunday was a strong day. Monday was a strong day. Tuesday was kind of a little bit back and forth, and then today seems like it wants to pull back. So to me, this is a mini correction of Sunday and Monday. Let's take a look at the daily chart for Bitcoin here. So the daily, this is exactly what I just explained, right? So Sunday, strong candle. Monday, pretty strong candle. Tuesday, teensy weensy like red candle, right? So I would consider that kind of like flat because it was pretty small red candle there. And then today seems to be a little bit of a pullback, right? So definitely, pay attention to how we finish today. Does it end up being kind of a smaller? Does it stay around this size? Does it become aggressive? Because sometimes if it is aggressive, then we'll bounce back the next day. Or if there's just bearish kind of news that comes in, then it'll continue on. But this is not too bad, honestly, in my opinion. I feel like we're still in this uptrend on the daily chart. As you can see, it's still trending up. We haven't broke out of trend yet or anything like that. So I feel pretty good of where we are with the daily as well. Now let's get into the weekly here. So this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. We've been going over this every day. I think it's important because it allows you to zoom out a bit, right? So even though we've had 2 decent weeks, even though the first week of March didn't really feel too great, we came out of that nasty last week of February. But then last week was pretty solid, bouncing back. And then this week, we're kind of in this, like, I would be okay with like a small green candle for this week and then have a continuation of like a larger one next week. But it's going to be very important how we finish on Sunday. But still look pretty good. Like we're still got some space away from the top part of the 50-day EMA for the 50-day channel here. We responded very well to this. This is like the bull market kind of zone, right? Like, staying above this area. So that's something to keep your eye on the weekly chart. Bitcoin staying, keeping its distance. Not really. I think a test back this quick would not be ideal. If we had a quick test back, like, you know what I mean? Like so quick, I'd be worried, especially if we break down again. This wick got eaten up pretty quick. You can see there to finish the week. Excuse me. But if we were actually to finish a week like below to where the candle actually lives there, that would not be great. So just keep your eye on that as well, and I'll do the same. So that is Bitcoin for you guys, kind of zoomed out as well. So I think we're okay for now. So we can continue on this 10-week bull run that Shizzy has proclaimed. All right, now going into the others, which is the top 10 cryptos outside of Bitcoin. You could see that we broke above this on the weekly chart, the bottom part of the 50-day EMA. It's going to be very, very important that the others stay at least can weather if we do go through something here with Bitcoin in the next couple days, that the others chart really weathers that and at least maintains with minimal pullback, because we need the alt market to be strong because it hasn't been before. And getting above this lower channel of the 50-day EMA to me was a win, and we got to maintain that. Let's stay above it right here, and then the next couple of weeks, if we can continually progress up as like Bitcoin gets more bullish as well, that is definitely what we're looking for the others weekly chart as well there. And this is just the daily. For the others, we can get into that real quick. Just starting off with this red candle, but you look 1, 2, 3, 4 green candle days in a row. And yesterday Bitcoin had a red candle. It was a tiny one, but still, this is a good sign so far. Let's see how it responds today to Bitcoin's pullback, because so far it's kind of on par with what Bitcoin's doing, like right or on the same page. But let's see if Bitcoin takes a stronger dive. If this does as well, it's going to be very important that it maintains, like I mentioned, the same thing for the weekly chart there. All right, and the last thing I do want to get into is the crypto bubbles that we went over kind of this morning. So if you look at the week looks great, right?
It looks bullish. It looks like a bull market to me, bro.
Hey,
I don't know about you.
We back. Yeah, there's a couple here that took a big hit, like Pi, which we don't really talk about too much, but like Jazz.
Pi's been a runner though, bro.
Yeah,
Pi's
it was.
just
It
up
was.
only.
Yeah, but like Hype, for example, that's weird, right? Like Hype is one of the ones that took.
Well, there's news with that, so it wasn't big enough to make the show, but there was like a liquidation, and they like it messed up the price.
Yeah, some of these kind of majors that you don't really see, or people talk about too much because they're not as sexy right now, because they've been around. Like for example, Crow from Kronos chain, which is crypto.com chain, up 27.8%. AVAX up 12.4%. This is good sign, that the these majors and also the community meme coins. Floki back up 13.6. There was another one in here too that we were talking. Sheeb up 13.5%. This is a good sign. Pepe up 16.9. So these are established community meme coins, and it seems like those daily Solana runners aren't sustaining after a day or two, which is great sign because that means that people aren't buying. They're not taking the bait. They're not taking the bait. They're redeploying into established meme communities that actually have communities there. So that's a good sign. But yeah, any of these stand out to you?
Well, Crow stands out for a lot of different reasons to me. My question for you is, obviously you're somebody, you talked about it before, somebody who played on the Crow chain. Is the Crow token the gas token for the Kronos chain?
It is. Yep.
Okay. So with the big announcement yesterday was DJT partnering with crypto.com to announce to launch ETFs, right? So they'll be using some of the crypto that's on crypto.com to back, or they're going to use them to actually back the ETFs and stuff like that. So that was huge. So crypto.com is working with Trump right now. What are the chances of somewhere like crypto.com to go public? So you might say, like, why you have a token, they can't, but the chain and the company are two different, projects. It's kind of like Binance and Binance Smart Chain, right? They're two different things. So Kronos or crypto.com, the company could be planning to go public, and we're seeing Kraken already planning for it. So that would actually be absolutely insane for crypto.com to go public. I think that would potentially 10x the token, because that chain is going to be looked at as bases, right? They're going to be looked at as Binance Smart Chain is. They run obviously on Cosmos's tech, right? They're on that. I think they're Wasm. Oh, the EVM. They're EVM based, right?
Yeah, I think they use Optimism, maybe. No, sorry. Yeah, they use Cosmos.
Yeah.
But it is EVM. Like you can
Yeah.
set it up RPC with your MetaMask wallet and everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. Crypto.com could be a sleeper. That could be something that 10, 20, 30x's in the next couple of months, especially if they decide to go public. IMX, Immutable X, their gaming chain, up 13%. That's another one that I've kind of been looking at. So you have the meme, right? The Doge. You see the Doge is the leader of the memes. IMX is kind of the leader of the gaming, in my opinion. And then Kronos, which is the leader of the exchanges. These three are huge indicators to me on why I think we're about to explode in the bull run. Stuff like Bera, which is newer.
Yeah,
right?
it's too new.
Push it. It's too new, right? And a lot of the other ones, AVAX up another 12%. These are huge bull market indicators.
This is a sign. This is the sign right
here.
I
mean, that never moves. That's a stable coin.
No offense to the ICP community, but that token has been like tough to just pull up, just because like how it launched with that price and how many people bought into the tech narrative, which it does have good tech, but once it goes from like what was the high? I don't know, like hundreds of dollars to
it was like 111, and then it went all the way down to about $1, and then it's back up.
Yeah, so that, but if they continually become more relevant, right, then that will help. Yeah. But this is a sign. This is a sign. Yeah. If this gets up to like 50% or something like that, then I think that's probably like a big indicator.
Polkadot too. Polkadot has a giant upgrade coming, right? And they're like ICP and Polkadot are very similar in the sense of marketing just doesn't help them. It doesn't matter. The tech is there, especially with Jam, with Polkadot. I think once these two start really taking off, exactly to your point, once you see 20, 25%, 30% runners with these two tokens, the bull run is here.
Yeah, near to, because it's like these are people. The reason, in my opinion, the reason why these are green the way they are for the ones that we just talked about, ICP, Polkadot, near, is because those had like believers last cycle, right? Like you had the believers that bought possibly the top, possibly before the top, but they had their conviction kind of the whole time, and now they're feeling like, okay, it's time to load up more because we're about to come into something, whether that's institutional, retail, who knows, but those kind of ones that aren't talked about every day, that have the believer communities and stuff like that, this is, I think, the beginning signs, is what I'm hoping, at least, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah, 100%. And Sonic as well. That's 17% on something like Sonic. I mean, Sonic's 4 billion, I think it is. Like, that's a lot. It's a huge mover. Sonic is probably going to be one of the I think Sonic can make it in the top 10. I think it'll take some time, but I think over the course of the next 4 years, you might see S in the top 10. I think the tech is just amazing. And like, why use something like XRP when you can use USDC on Sonic or USDT on Sonic? I mean, it's faster, it's stronger, it has, you know, the backing of Andre, and he's building pretty massive DeFi over there. So Sonic could actually be the DeFi chain going forward.
You know what I thought about too just now when you said that about the stable situation on Sonic. I think right now with the announcement of Fidelity coming out with their stable, and we know that PayPal has their stable. Who has the ability right now, position wise and network, network connection wise, to really promote their stable as like commerce, like a consumer, like every day? It's Fidelity, it's PayPal, over like the USDT and the and which they have established. I understand that, like, they're not going.
Well, USDC is Coinbase.
Yeah. So I feel like they actually have a little bit more too. But I think like these stable, like for example, like whenever I hear that Fidelity has a stable coin, like I kind of want to use it, like, because I'm just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't mind like staking a lot into a Fidelity stable coin vault or whatever products they offer, or whatever. Whatever products they offer, I'm going to look at them. You know what I mean? And I'm going to assess. And I think there's going to be the shift of like marketing in terms of TV commercials and stuff like that. Like, we're going to start seeing this like come out, because they want the everyday consumer, you know what I mean, to be able to utilize this tech, this, you know, what they're doing. And Fidelity, PayPal, they're already intertwined with that network of advertisers, TV streamers and stuff like that. So the other side, I would, behoove them to, take notice and be aggressive on that side too, for the marketing side.
Dude, a Fidelity PayPal pool, where people are going into Fidelity, into PayPal. Let's just say you want to deposit, you're sitting in the Fidelity stablecoin. You're like, oh crap, I want to get this in PayPal because I want to buy something. You're going to use the Fidelity's PayPal pool, and you're going to go from one to the other. It's probably going to be like 0.05%, right? You're going to lose doing that, but then that yield goes to the pool. You have thousands and thousands of trades. That's kind of goes back to my point of earlier. These stablecoin pools, because people are going to go from one stablecoin to the other, right? And you're probably going to see DeFi that's automatically just taken from these pools is going to be so big. It's going to be the biggest thing. This crypto, we have not even hit that point yet. Stablecoin pools are going to be the biggest thing we've ever seen. It's so, I think massive.
I agree with that, but I think there's going to be three big things that come from that kind of sector. It's what you just said: stablecoin pools, RWA, and then also revenue share. Once, like, if you can get into a solid, I don't know if the TradFi guys are going to do that, because they're not used to that, like in regular business, revenue share.
They do dividends, so it's
dividends. So if they could like kind of accept that it's that similar, it could be that similar. Imagine like an investor, like someone that's in crypto right now, every day, like our audience, us, and you get in early for like a revenue share, dividends, whatever you want to call it, for like a institutional, like, corporation type of that we know, brand name and stuff, that comes over and offers that. Like, you get in now and think about like what that could look like in 5 years from your earnings from that or whatever, right? I think there's going to be opportunities like that, and I think TradFi and these bigger corporations they don't care what we know or don't know in our retail every day to day. I read an article that they're building and they're using the blockchain how they see fit, but blockchains that we use, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, they're going to merge, and they don't, to them, it doesn't matter what we think right now. You know what I mean? And they're building in silence. And so once they start rolling these things out, I think it's going to be kind of like a,
you're 100% right. I didn't even think about that. Fidelity could potentially get rid of their dividend, tokenize their stock, have you stake their stock for years, like a year, and then pay you in reward.
Cyclical effect, right?
Yeah,
cyclical effect.
And they give you the reward will be their stablecoin, right? So you're actually earning dollars to stake your Fidelity stock for years, like, so you're locked in, right? And people will do that because it's the same thing as a dividend, like, and if you're planning to hold it anyway, and what that's going to do, that's going to make Fidelity stock. If they can lock up 30%, 40% of their stock where it's not even being sold, I mean, that's not only is you're earning on that, but the stock's going up as well. Like, dude, this is a whole new world.
And then you're going to see bigger companies like Nvidia and Tesla see
Yeah.
that and mimic it.
Yep. And then potentially Tesla could have a stable coin. Like,
And
I mean, there's no stopping it.
if Tesla had that mechanism right now, from what Elon's been going through the
Yeah.
past whatever like couple months, it would tremendously help that, because like that their stock is kind of locked into the certain period because they're earning. You wouldn't have the angry kind of, trying to
Yeah.
bring you would have some people that could do some damage, but at least you would have some that could minimize that, so
Yeah.
interesting.
Imagine this
concept.
scenario, right? Tesla stablecoin. You're driving, some guy lets you into the lane. There's a button pops up, tip $1. You can tip that driver who just let you in the lane $1. Like, imagine that. Imagine.
Yeah.
I would. There's sometimes where I'm like, it would actually, and as somebody, I would let people in just in case they want to tip me $1, right? So potentially you're driving along, you can earn. Because there's sometimes where it's like, God, please let me in, please let me in. But imagine someone being like, this guy might tip me $1. Let me just let him in. You know what I mean? And over time, that could add up, right? I don't know. The crypto, stable coins, this world, I think is about to change. All right. Where were we? I feel like we went.
I think we were
on a
getting,
tangent
it was a good conversation. I think
It
we're
was,
getting into
dude.
the
Very
roll
enjoyable.
call.
Yeah, let's get into the roll call here. First is first on this show.
Who was it?
And it's congratulations for the first time ever. We have my man Glasshopper, and I could be wrong, but I typed your name in and it did not come up. Normally, if I type a name in, it comes up automatically. So it doesn't look like you won. It's your first win. Congratulations to you, my friend. Let me actually show that. So Glasshopper, and I will look through this over the weekend and make sure that it is your first win. I mean, if it isn't your first win, if it's not, let me know and I'll change it now. But congratulations, Glasshopper 77. You got your first win of the year. You, sir, are amazing. And looking forward to playing the Fox game with you, you and your friend there. That was always fun. So hold on. So I have something that might save the Reaper. So Glasshopper locked in, right? And then somebody put in a super chat, PJNZ. So I'm curious. Hold on. This is just me thinking. I don't think YouTube will delete the comments if you put a super chat in. So if it was me, and I had first place and I didn't want the Reaper to get me, it might be smart to do a $1 super chat. And I don't even care about the money. I don't care about it. I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking out loud here. If you put a super chat in right after you get the first is first, I don't think you're going to get deleted, because I've never seen YouTube ever delete a super chat.
Yeah, I don't know. And I wonder if they actually keep the super chat at the top, or if they always bump. If it bumps,
well, they won't bump it in because PJNZ is pretty far down
in
the comments, so you don't get bumped up. But
it puts you in the place that you put it.
I just don't think the Reaper will come.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He tried to summon the Reaper.
He tried, but yeah, I think what he did, he kind of locked it in for him. Potentially.
Maybe.
Shout out to PJNZ. We appreciate you, my friend, with your 349 NZ summoning the Reaper. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate every super chat, guys. It really helps. All right. In that second place, well, one more time, congratulations to Glasshopper. Today's your day. You, sir, are the man. In second place, we got Lackey Lukey with his Billy Cat. Shout out to Lackey Lukey. Danny Boy says, damn. Shout out to Danny Boy. He says, I was refreshing, then I started slacking. Good game, Glasshopper. Don't get reaped. Yeah, man. ASAP Benji says, yo, it's time to summon the Reaper. And Danny says, yeah, sorry, Glasshopper, Reaper on the way. But I think PJNZ locked it in with that super chat, bro. I truly believe. I don't know. Nighthawk says, GM, bull run has begun. Are we rich yet? Next Tuesday, Glasshopper, you're going to be very rich. You're going to be glad. I'm not sorry, Nighthawk. You'll be very, very rich.
Tuesday.
I think it's next Tuesday, honestly. I'm gonna lock it in, baby. Web Justice Glasshopper, let's go. OnChain Revolution is happening, yes, sir. Malam says, just want you guys to know that we really appreciate the show. Crypto is a small industry and it's almost non-existent here in Ghana. Is that how you say that, Ghana?
Yep, Ghana. We appreciate you, Malam. We appreciate you. You show up every day just like we do. So it's a joint effort, and we appreciate you and the rest of our community, because all you guys show up every day. Strongest community in crypto, in my opinion. And we love y'all and how competitive you guys are. Our competitive juices are just going up. That sounded weird. Yeah, but anyways.
And honestly though, like, I would feel better if you guys make it over us becoming millionaires, right? I would feel better of our community. I'm going to make sure that, our community, that you guys that are a part of this community are enriched in life and chasing. And I think we're all here for the same reason. We're all chasing financial freedom. We're all chasing generational wealth. We're all trying to change our futures for the better. And if we can all come together as a community, and that's what we're trying to build here with OnChain Revolution, we're trying to build a community of winners. And I think that's what you guys are. I'm just very happy to have you guys, man, here every single day. I appreciate it. Malam also says, so it feels really good to be a part of communities like yours and others like the Block Runner. Yeah. Shout out to the Block Runner, man. Those guys, I do love it. Like, we're both in the same space, but like we cover different areas as well. So being a part of both communities is probably such a win for a lot of people. Malam Yuri goes, many thanks. PJNC says something froggy is happening. What's froggy?
No.
PJNC says, I think you should Fluid Vault OG passes. We got to figure something out with that. Yeah, I want to. We talked about it many times. We have something coming in the future. Potentially, we could lock for that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that at a different time. And then PJNZ says, let's go Big Noodle. PJNZ says, sorry, I've been on the whiskey. Good night. Catch you guys. Shout out to you. I love it, man. You guys could, if you guys are drunk, please come in the chat and
it's fun. It's fun. What kind of whiskey do you like, PJNZ? I'm a whiskey drinker. I try to like just have a little neat glass every once in a blue moon. But yeah, put it in the chat.
Dude, when I was younger and I used to drink all the time, I used to drink fucking nasty as shit. The old granddad.
Wild Turkey.
I used to buy
Wild Turkey.
Oh, Wild Turkey's
McCormick's. Here's $2. Give me what you got.
I used to go to the bar like, give me a shot of old granddad. The worst, the absolute worst. Ordinal Chip says, guys, we all need to think about America and Ordinal Hydra Corp. She'll give us a live water. What are you talking about, my friend? I think you have some whiskey as well.
I want to learn more about that. Drop that information there.
Danny says, PJNZ, it didn't work. LOL. I think that might be the best way to keep the Reaper away. Yeah, dude, Danny on top of the game there at 9 o'clock. He actually said it way before I did. Now Bob is here. Shout out to Superfan, what he's building with Big Noodle. If you guys haven't checked out Big Noodle, go check it out. Go check out Superfan. Really amazing to have you on our community. We really appreciate you and everything you're building for the space. Chief Axel is here. Shout out Chief Axel. Glasshopper says, I have Reaper repellent. I think the PJNZ super chat did it for you. Stevie J is here. GM. Mark Launchpunks. Shout out to Mark. Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, and Glasshopper says, I had March 25th on my calendar. All right. I Walk Alone. GM. Smash the like button. It's free. Y'all have a great day. Superfan says, Pump Fun is a VC-backed company. Maybe they're on Kraken because they are required to. Interesting. What do you think?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Maybe, but those VCs are happy, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Those VCs are happy.
They won 1,000 extra money.
So like, there's a lot of VCs. Well, yeah, there's a lot of VCs that swung and missed this cycle so far. The ones that got into Pump Fun, Poly Market. Well, I don't know what the volume is on Poly Market. I imagine it has to be pretty big.
It was. I think November, December was the peak. And
then what was the third one that was big? That was kind of like the third big app. I guess Virtuals, but Virtuals, I don't know if that was VC backed.
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, man, those VCs making out like bandits right now.
Yeah, stealing. No, I'm just kidding. Matt's is here. PJNZ again. Cheaty. Shout out to Mr. Cheaty. Shout out to Cheaty. That's our guy. Go ahead.
Cheaty, I hit you back. I'll check my DMs, but yeah, just check the DM I sent you because if you could do that, that would be great, and I'll help you out with that.
The Bulls are quietly showing up, he says. We are about to be lit. He says, got deep in the talent. Awesome, dude. Yeah, we're actually going to talk about talent in a little bit. We're going to take a quick market recap if we can get to that. No. What is Nuki? Shout out to No. He says, let's effing go. Shout out to No. And then we have my man Mice Elf in the building every single day. Appreciate you. He said, one Coinbase app is the #1 downloaded app. That's another end of cycle indicator. Yes, I think you're going to see that a little bit in June. And potentially a lot more next year. I think Coinbase app is going to be #1 for a long time. So I don't think it's going to be one of those indicators where it's like, oh, it's the top. I think it's going to sit there for a while before it falls off. The AC man says 331.25. Best in slots, realizer virtual. What is this? Is this a ad? Best in slots, realizer, virtual machine. What is this?
No, I think he's just stating that Best in Slot has a VM and stable coins
okay.
coming out same time. Best in Slot, yeah. So that's the they're using the Ethereum virtual machine copy, the fork of it.
Testnet still, right? It's not even worth
I don't
talking about.
know, but
Yeah.
but you know how I think about like the politics were involved
Yeah.
because it makes sense with the volume that OKX is pushing out. So maybe they're just like, hey, look, we're just gonna go. We'll see. But I'm in your boat in terms of I need to see something that works
Yeah.
before I can get bullish on it from Best in Slot.
100%. I need mainnet. I need mainnet. AC Man says releases, Trump stable, USA 1. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. Appreciate you though. Myself says it must be nice to have connections at the money printer and be able to create as many stablecoins as you want. Well, anyone creating stablecoin, we can create our own stablecoin if we wanted to. I mean, all we gotta do is.
I think but if you follow up with his next statement, he's talking about
Okay.
the fiat.
That's
fiat
literally buying up the limited supply of crypto and then unlimited fiat trash. Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of crypto, right? It's the whole point of Bitcoin started.
Yeah,
so
I'm with you myself on that. But at the same time, it's like this. Like, do we think as a space that we can beat them? I think eventually
Yeah.
maybe, but not at this point. And if you go against them at this point when they come in, and that's where a massive influx I think of liquidity is going to come in, you got to take advantage of that, man. That's part of the reason why we're here too, is to get that financial freedom and stuff. And so but I'm with you on the fundamental thinking of that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people just care about number go up, but in reality, I mean, we're changing the world with taking the power out of the government's hands. But we'll see if that continues, especially with the government actually coming into crypto. So, Vince says hi from Australia. Great show, Vinny. Thank you so much, Vince. We really appreciate you being here, man. I think it's your first time here today. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for sitting in my road train truck listening to you guys. Appreciate you, man. It's probably like what 12 a.m. there, or yeah,
I don't know. Late,
but shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for staying up late. PJNC says last night was Teeling Irish. Had a few hot neat. My head a bit rough. I bet. And then Supervan says shout out to PJNZ. I've been into Japanese whiskey the last few years. Damn, and now I'm thirsty. Japanese whiskey sounds
smooth.
No, is it?
Dude, it's smooth. Okay. Yeah, it's smooth. They do a good job with whiskey. Out of the Eastern, like the Asian countries, I would say Japan and Taiwan are both like the top two.
Really?
Japan probably is the top though. Yeah, they do a good job. They do their own style, but it's smooth.
Over Irish whiskey, really?
I mean, you're probably gonna find the best. It depends on your people's flavor, like what they want. You know what I mean? It's just a different way it hits. But it's up there. It's up there for sure.
Yeah. All right, then we got Taddy, a GM. Great show as usual. Thank you, Taddy. I think it's your first time in making roll call too. I really appreciate every single one of you guys who make roll call every single day. You guys are absolutely amazing, and wouldn't do this without you guys. Appreciate it. Couldn't do this without you guys, I should say. Honestly, if no one watched, we wouldn't have great partners like our one partner. Today is officially Wednesday, so what that means is every single Wednesday we like to go over one of our partners here. This is BetBTC. Big changes happening at BetBTC, guys. Get really bullish. This is kind of what they've been waiting for. I know we've been talking about them for a while. They are live on mainnet, right? You can play with them right now. And they just launched a new feature, and this feature is blowing my mind. I can't wait for a lot of people to start using this. It's going to happen, especially. Have you noticed that they haven't really been marketing besides us? They're not really tweeting. They're under the hood. They're really building this. They're talking to VCs. They're actually potentially earning. They're eventually going to try to be getting. Earnings the wrong word. They're eventually going to try to getting investment into them, which actually is very bullish for a company. When you get investment, you can actually keep building and hire more devs, and that's kind of what they're doing. But their devs are cooking, the ones they have right now. So they just launched Blitz Market. Absolutely phenomenal. And how Blitz Market works. So first thing you want to do to go is just go to betbtc.win. That is the website that'll take you here. Then you're going to want to sign in. You can do it with your experts. That's the wallet that I like to use. You'll come here. You'll put your password in, and then you'll send it on. You'll unlock it, and then when you're signing up, it's very similar to signing in. You just have to add a little bit more information, and then you can start everything with this. And I'll connect. Oh crap! I think I might be the wrong account. So I might have to, because I don't have no money on this account, I don't think. Let me see. So sign in. So it's pretty easy, pretty simple how you do everything. And then I'm in, right? So, but is this my Shizzy account? Nope, no user found. So hold on, just give me 1 second. I'll just have to do my wallet. But if you can just hit on there maybe some of the updates.
Well, I'll go over. Yeah. So one thing that they are currently looking for are about 5 to 10 beta testers for this really cool new feature that they're adding. So if you love to test new products, and you want to be a part of this beta testing of this new feature, I don't want to talk about it because it's one that, if you've been watching the show, it's one that I've been really excited about for a very long time. DM us, reach us at OnChain Rev, right? On Twitter.
Yeah, on X.
On X.
Yeah.
Sorry, on X at
Everything's in the show
OnChain.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah, at OnChain Rev. You can check in the show notes and DM us and let us know that you're interested to be a tester. Is it incentivized? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that there's going to be probably something there. But just do it out of trying to be, a good tester. That's the main point of, stress testing this new feature that's coming. Shoot us a DM and we'll try to get you on the list there.
When you say new feature, you're not talking about Blitz, right? Blitz is just something else. Okay.
Yeah, it's something completely new that is going to be a part of the overall platform. So,
all right. So you'll come to betbtc.win, and guys, I want every single one of you guys. If this is your first time seeing us, get on the leaderboard. All you got to do is create an account, and you immediately get put on. And right now, there's about 390 people. So all these people did is they made an account. You don't got to send any money to it, nothing. You hook up your Xverse wallet up to it, connect it. It's safe. I promise you. You won't get drained. No, nothing like that. And even so, you can just create another account like I did and just kind of sign in. As you can see, that this is the leaderboard. About 390 people get on this leaderboard. Everyone will get an airdrop. I mean, I'm 1,000,000% positive. That's what they said. You'll get an airdrop. All you have to do is make that list. But if you wanted to get even further and get more of an airdrop, you want to farm it a little bit, best thing to do is maybe add $10, right? Someone like, let's just say, for instance, WebDraw. He's about $494 in volume, and he's number 2, right? Like, you don't need to do a lot of volume. I think, look at this. So Ethereum Dad, he's $43 in volume, and he's number 7. Like, he's going to get the 7th largest airdrop out of everyone here. Same thing with our boy Yasher. And look at our community. It's PJNZ community member, WebDraw community member, Tim Baker community member, Ethereum Dad a community member, at Yasher community member, and so on and so on. I got even Yagobi. He's a community member, right? So
hey,
we got No here, Rick G here, Kilgore. I think you are a community member as well. I Walk Alone, legend in the space. $33 in volume. He hasn't been doing good on his bets, but he's still number 11, right? So shout out to I Walk Alone, man. So it doesn't take much to get on this leaderboard. As you can see, I am number 3, and I'm going to be giving my airdrop away. Whatever I get, I'm going to give it to you guys. We'll do some type of cool little giveaway or something. But I'm like $1,200 in volume, and I'm positive $220. So yeah, so I'm up on my bets so far. So because I am that damn good, but I'm not Tim Baker good, where I'm in $722 and I'm up $500. So he's like $1,200 there.
Man. He's crushing it.
He's just the winner, bro. So I'm still positive. So I like being positive, $220, but I am number 3. So my airdrop will be bigger, right? But they just added a new feature. Obviously, some of the old features would be, if you guys are interested, this is a predictions market, right? Think poly markets. Think what's the other one? The bigger one that just partnered with Robinhood.
The other one that partnered. I think, what was it?
Karna. Something like that.
Oh, the predictions market. Yeah. That's the one that Elizabeth Warren tried to already attack, right? I forgot the name of it, but
me too. But anyway, BetBTC, they're actually going to be doing a rebrand. They're actually going to be doing really cool stuff in the future. So look out for that. Because they're trying to be very legit. They want to make this as legit as possible. So you guys who do get this airdrop are going to be very happy with it. I truly believe that. And then they have the Blitz market. This is the newer markets. This is 10-minute markets. So I have $110 here. So let's play a little bit here. So the price. Wait.
Let me help you out. Let me get the chart up here.
So 10 minutes, right? I can't go down. I mean, I don't go down.
Yeah. Hey, there's a chance. There's a chance. So if you're
I'm gonna go up, just go up. I'm gonna put $10. I'm gonna $10 in here. And I'm gonna swipe my bet. It's gonna process it. And real quickly, so they're using ICP in the back end. So think Odin. It's pretty much exact. as Odin. So you'll come here, right? If you're interested in depositing, see I made that bet, see how quick it is. It's being processed. So when this 10 minutes is up, it's going to lock in my bet. So I'm locked in whatever price that is. I probably would have been smarter to wait for this to say 1 minute before I locked in my bet, because I have no idea. This could go up a lot, and then I'm screwed,
That's
right?
the strategy. That's the strategy.
Yeah.
Wait till that ticker gets close to expiring, because then you got to wait an additional 10 minutes if you're right or wrong. So, hopefully you guys understand how that works.
For instance, let's just say you were on this block, right? And you put it in higher. So this is 86.77, and then now it's 86.22. So if you would have bet in this block up, you would win. So once this clock ends down, you will win, right? So they're going to add some stuff here to make it more clear. But right now, this is what we got. So potentially you guys can come here, 7 minutes, wait for 1 minute, go up or lower, then this will move over. Your bet will be locked in. And if that actually beats the previous block, you win. It's a little confusing, but once you kind of get it, you get it. It's easy after that. So so I am up. You see, I'm 100%. I would love for someone to take the other side of this bet. If you're interested, Yagobi, take the other side, man. Let's go.
Yeah, let me think about it. I'm just kidding.
So this will get locked in. So definitely check this out. And now they recently just added Binance. So this is BNB, which they probably should change that to BNB there. So same thing here. So I'm gonna say. So 624, 623. I'm gonna say up. I just have such a problem with going the other way. So I'm gonna put $10 here, and I'm gonna slide that. I'm just a bull, guys. I just can't bear. I can't bear to be a bear. So
yep.
And then I'm up there, and then I'll go down to Solana. Same thing. I'll go up there, but what I'm doing though, in reality, I'm just airdrop farming. All right, so. I'm playing. You can play these all day. You could probably be number one on the leaderboard, and you can probably win some money. So it's up to you guys. Come here, play around, mess around. But what do you think about Blitz Market so far?
I love it. because it's a way to kind of have fun responsibly with just like quick not leverage, but you're betting, right? You're making bets if it's going to go higher or lower. So Vince looks like he's looking for a referral code. So if you want to drop your referral code for him. That would, if you go to account, if you go to account, and then you should have a referral code in there.
Where would that?
No, scroll down, go back.
Profile.
Scroll down. There should be a
referral code.
Yeah, copy that.
I just copy this.
Yep, copy it and just paste it.
Doesn't look like it's copying.
Well, try to do a right click in the chat and see if and paste and see if it worked.
Let's try.
No, in the
I got what you're saying.
No, maybe do you have to generate it first?
I've never actually done that before.
Yeah.
But my handle's not saved, which is really weird. I want to make sure I get my handle so no one else takes it. Wires not Joe, and then I'll update.
Yeah. So we'll get. You could just sign up for it, Vince. But we'll check and see what's going on with the referrals, because I do know that there is a referral code.
I used to have one. Yeah.
So maybe they're just working on that or something, but we'll get an update for you guys on it.
And guys, this is pretty much beta, right? So everything that's happening right now, don't go too heavy money wise. A couple bucks, not anything really more than that. Don't even go follow me with $10. I'm just joking around here. This is money that I'm okay with losing. So just make sure you guys are feeling the same way. There is also stuff here. Will tier 1 spot exchange list dog by Q1 of 2025. I think at this point you can say no, right? Right. I don't think it's gonna happen for dog.
We got 5 days. 5 days, man. So what is it? It's super
it actually
heavy
might be smart to come here and just start banging out these bets, because you're gonna win. You only got 5 days. So people don't really take advantage of that yet, which is kind of not smart. So let me take advantage of it. Which rune tokens will spot listing? Give me something. Okay. Magic will reach market cap of 100 million by the end of Q1. No, this is free money. This is free money. I'm taking this $40.
Well, you don't know how many people have been in it.
I mean, it's 40%.
Yeah, so you're gonna take
that's free money, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta look at the total liquidity in there. So if it's like you'll win most.
$1,200.
Whoa!
This is. I mean, how much more money I got left? This is easy. Like, I'm stealing money right now. Like I got 25. Like, this is free money.
Yo, whoever's in Gizmo, let's send it. Let's send it. Come on.
No, don't make me lose my money. It's there you go. Balance all data. So now I should be able to process again.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
funny.
this is absolutely free. Free money, guys. Yeah, what are you guys waiting for? Like anything that ends Q1, which is in like 4 days, I mean, Gizmo's at $3 million. So you're gonna tell me you're gonna add 97 million. I mean, I'm a Gizmo holder, so yeah, please do that. That would be lovely, but it's not gonna
I guess
happen.
you would win if that happened anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, I would win huge if that happened. So I mean, I'm out of my balance, but this is free money. Guys, get over here. Press no. Take everyone who went this way's money as soon as possible.
as long as there's liquidity in it, yeah, and it's
There is.
lopsided.
As
Yeah,
long
yeah,
as,
yeah.
as
I
long as
know.
54 to 45, you're
Yeah.
solid. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
stupid for not putting my dude. Where can I get like $500 in ICP right now? Like,
Hey! We don't want to
Oh, no,
destroy Don't destroy everybody.
let's see what other ones we got here. Which runes token spotless a tier 1 exchange? Okay, so give me an easy one. Give me some free money here. Well, that's 100 million. I don't know what they were smoking when they put that up there. I think we were all super bullish back then. Let me see. I think that might be the only one. Do you see any other ones that I could take advantage of?
The other ones are kind of like situational, like the which runes, because that one might actually everybody get their money back because they might not, any of them might not get on.
Yeah. World theory. Oh, here's one.
Oh, by the end of this year. By the end of this year.
I don't want to take that one yet.
Yeah.
I'll take a closer. Closer. Any other Q1s there? But yeah, man, guys, that's free money if you guys are interested. Did anyone get the particle airdrop? No. Dumb particle. I don't want to talk about it. I'm sad.
I got 5.
You got $5?
I got no, less than $5. I think it was like 30 cents. I got 5 party tokens, PARTI. I just don't know how to connect the Unisat wallet that I used on Merlin to their platform. So I got to learn how to do that. But I was able to just connect the one that I use for examples on their Universal X Telegram bot. But yeah, I mean, if I could figure out how to connect the Unisat wallets to it, I'll let you guys know. But I need to get some guidance from their team, so I'm going to reach out to them today.
Yeah, man. All right. So title of the show today is "Get Ready to Run." Something big is happening. I truly believe this is probably out of my brain here, and you might call me crazy, but I truly believe that the next 10 weeks are going to be overly bullish. The fact that we're having a little dip today and we're not even dipping, right? The fact that people are scared today and we're sitting, still higher on the week is just baffling to me. I truly believe that the next couple weeks, like I said it last week, it's going to take a few weeks for people to realize it. And I think we're going to have to see 97K. People start being like, okay, Shizzy was right. And you guys will all say that in the next 10 weeks. I promise you. We cannot have the 4 or 5 months of bear that we just, 3 months of bear that we just had.
It feels like December. It feels like 6 months.
It feels like a year, bro, because like all my Bitcoin is tied up in the freaking layer 1 assets. So it's not like I'm making money on the Bitcoin up, right? So it honestly
we
feels
talked about that.
Market.
We talked about that yesterday or the day before. I just like hit you up and I was like, bro, you making money anywhere? And you're like, no. And like when I say making money, just flipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's obviously like certain opportunities you got to get in and get out like pretty quick, or like very strategic, right? I'm not talking about Solana because Solana is a whole nother thing. Like you got like less than, I feel like 4% chance of winning in there because so many people that are used to Solana for the past year and a half use Photon. They have all these other tools. They're ahead of everybody, right? But I'm just talking about just in general, and it's really tough. Like in Ordinals or anywhere, like NFTs, Tau, it's just tough. It's just like So that's whenever I said, sometimes like if you zoom out, the HODL kind of mentality, the HODL culture does eventually win out for the most part because you have those strong convictions for a reason. Sometimes you're wrong, right? Sometimes you're wrong, but if you let it play out to the end, I truly believe like HODL mentality does win out. Even if you've seen, and that's the tough part. I mentioned, like in the first 2 years of Bitcoin, like, from 2009 to let's say the first 6 years. So 2009 to 2013, Bitcoin didn't really have a crazy like, run up until 2000 after 2013, which was the first true like having bull run when Bitcoin went up to $1,000 and everybody's like, oh my gosh, going from like a couple hundred to 1,000 was insane to people. Remember that guy watching it on his computer and all that stuff. And then you had the people that bought the top of Bitcoin during that time in 2013. The next 2 years for them, they probably had so many like conviction issues in there. Like, was I right? It feels like, this could be just not, it has to be mass adopted, all these things. Right. And eventually they just bought in and just held it. And they eventually, if you're holding from that point to, how the rest of the story goes, 2016, 2017, 18, 20, 21, like those gains. And there's going to be assets that came out of the Bitcoin ecosystem that are going to play that way. Not, maybe not exactly the same way. And there's going to be some that were wrong, completely. And we don't know. We can't tell the future. But I do think like that whole HODL mentality for your strongest convictions, in my opinion, is the way to go. And I need to get back to that a little bit because, it's easy when you're in it every day. And then you're just like, especially whenever you commit fully. This is our living, what you and I do, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what you got.
So you got to remember with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was different in the sense of what it stood for, what it was. It was so risky though, because you got to remember too, when you talk about 2009, 2010, 2011, there was 7,200 tokens every day. So that it was 50 Bitcoin per block. Every single day, there was 7,200 new Bitcoins on the market every day, right? Then there wasn't even no markets. So people were selling through PayPal and things like this.
But that's my point, though, is like you had to have the strongest of
serious
conviction.
Serious conviction.
So let's say that me and you, the way that I think, like the way that we, not just us, but like people right now, because there's fear right in the markets. The way that people right now treat like some of these newer Bitcoin layer 1 assets or just newer assets in general, maybe Hyperliquid, whatever, Magic Eden's token, like. Back then, if we were to teleport back in that time and you and I were doing what we do, but for TradFi, right? Stocks, and we knew our game and we got introduced to Bitcoin. We're like, dude, this is going to be a game changer, whatever. We bought at like, let's say we bought like in the beginning or like at that 2013 and then 2014, 15 happens. Like we would be like, TradFi, kind of get our focus a little bit more back on TradFi for the hard times. You know what I mean? And then eventually I think the way our minds work, we would fully commit to Bitcoin, right? However long that took. But numerous people have stories of like, it took like 2 times, 3 times. And then I was in after that, so.
Well, the inflation, like there was more inflation to Bitcoin than there was a dollar. So like back then too, people were telling you, oh, getting Bitcoin, it's hedged against a dollar. And you're sitting there like, there's more Bitcoin coming in. There's like 10 times more Bitcoin coming in than inflation. And you guys are all crazy. You seriously had to believe in decentralization. Like it wasn't about inflation, none of that. Like the reasons to hold Bitcoin in 2010 are not the same reasons you're holding Bitcoin today. Bitcoin was so much riskier then than it ever is today. It's completely risk off compared to what it was in 2010. But that makes you think about assets today. Assets you're getting in today with potentially high inflation, like Bitmap and stuff like that, where you're kind of looking at these assets and you're like, oh, wow, there's so many reasons not to hold this. But if you have conviction, if you just buy and that's it, and you put it away, and if you are right, because you got to be right too, right? You can't just go and buy like, I don't know, feather coins.
But you won't know until time comes, right?
You won't.
Even if that's why research is so important. Is like you back your conviction up with like solid research and all that great stuff. And yeah, you're right. Like you had to really have a reason. And I think the people that really were convicted were the ones that got murked during 2009 stock market crash from the bank bailing out the banks and all that stuff, right? And they were and then that was the whole white paper about like this, and that's what captured people in the beginning. Because like if someone back then were like, well, you could buy coffee with Bitcoin, and then you're like, okay, send me a payment, and you're sitting there waiting for the block to go through, and you're like, just pay me in debit card or whatever at the time, right? Before Lightning was ever introduced and all that stuff.
I mean, Lightning wasn't until like what, 2016?
Yeah.
Before Lightning came out, we're talking 8 years, right? So since Bitcoin launched. So, but that's the thing. The people who say I got in Bitcoin in 2010, First off, I probably think you're a liar right off the bat, and second, it's like and if you weren't a liar, you were a part of something much bigger because there was no reason to hold Bitcoin back then, especially with the inflation of 50 Bitcoin. I mean, you could look forward to the halving, but like if you didn't have a long-term mindset on Bitcoin, it was almost impossible to hold. Like you
Yeah.
needed to have that conviction. And again, to the assets today, the assets that we truly believe in, like something like Tau, which I truly believe in, but the inflation's high. Like there's a new Tau every 30 seconds that enters the market, right? And so, obviously the halving for Tau comes in December, but Tau is like, I think Tau is going to go to $7,000 this cycle. And people will call me crazy, but I think the halving and next year is going to be really big for something like Tau.
Yeah. All right. We got one question here from Milan Yuri. He says, you've probably talked about this in previous shows before I joined, but what's better way to sell, into Bitcoin or into stables? I think it depends on the situation, right? Like most of the time it's going to be into Bitcoin, in my opinion. The only time that I would say for me would be is if like you're expecting a bear market, like within and you have solid like confirmations that bear market is coming in the next like 2 to 4 weeks, and then you would get back into Bitcoin eventually anyways as you get that cheaper price. But that's just me. I know Shizzy always is constantly just getting into Bitcoin.
It's just Bitcoin. Just go into Bitcoin. If prices drop, you have a better opportunity to get into altcoins a lot cheaper if you're in Bitcoin, because you're not worrying about a fee, right? You're not worrying about, because a lot of times too is like you can't go to stables into Bitcoin. There's nowhere to do it. You have to do it on a centralized exchange. So you're losing money. You're losing 2 to 3% by doing that. Just hold Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops 2 to 3%, it's the same thing as you doing an exchange, something on one of these centralized exchanges. It's the same thing.
Well, depends on how much you buy and how much it pulls back.
It's like 1 to 2% to swap on Coinbase and on like anywhere I go to swap like into cash or whatever. For Bitcoin, for Ethereum and stuff, it's different because you can do it on a decentralized exchange. But if we're talking Bitcoin or stables, it's cheaper just to go back into Bitcoin. And then because you're going to lose 1% on every trade.
Bitcoin could pull back from like 200K to 120.
But what are you doing? What are you doing then? I mean, I think you still get in alts way cheaper. Like
I'm not talking about alts though. I'm talking about getting back into Bitcoin.
Then why hold the Bitcoin if you're not planning to get into alts with it?
Because you're getting more Bitcoin for if you sell into stables at that moment before the bear market comes and Bitcoin pulls back. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying if there is a situation, that's the situation that I'm saying that it makes sense.
But you're betting against Bitcoin when you're doing that, and I'm
in the bear market. So
you don't know when the bear market is.
In 2022, there was several people that got out of Bitcoin and got into stables and then bought it cheaper. Is my point.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who sold at 30K thinking it was going to drop back down, and it went to 60.
Yeah,
so it's like
going
off
same
of
thing. Previous
you
to the cycle,
you don't know what's going to happen.
Previous to this cycle, there was a pretty consistent 4-year cycle that you knew when Bitcoin, not exactly to the day, but you could be okay with selling at like what you felt like was close to the top, and then waiting for 6 months for it to retrace like 50%. That's what I'm talking about.
People tried that at 16K,
and some people succeeded.
Sold at 16K,
and some people succeeded, and some people succeeded.
Failed. And some people failed. I'm just saying it's just better. Bitcoin's going to $1 million, right? It's going to $1 million. It's going above $1 million. So why ever go into stables?
I'm just saying if you are good at timing, that's where
no one is good at timing.
That's not true, dude.
That's true.
I guarantee you there's
0.0% of the world is good at timing.
Okay,
are you going to take that bet?
Are you telling me that like no one did well from the previous 4-year
cycles? 0.0%.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I believe that. If you can do that, if you can do that, you are way above the 1%. You are absolutely phenomenal at life.
So you're telling me that there's not a 4-year template before where we're at right now. I'm not saying because we got to see how this cycle plays out.
I'm just saying people thought it was going to 10K and people were selling at 16,000.
Well, I'm just talking about the people that sold at like 58,000 and then bought back at like 20.
That was very rare. It's so hard to do. And there's people who sold at 49,000. Germany, for instance, are going to have to buy back at 150.
Well, I mean, I know several people that did that, and they got in.
I know nobody.
I know nobody. My brother did it. He got back in at 22K.
Your brother just recently sold Bitcoin way lower than it is today.
No, hell no, he didn't. He sold it at like 97.
Did he buy back?
he's waiting to, like, he's
Okay.
you know, like
He's
around
gonna
now,
get he's gonna get past 97. He's not gonna buy back.
he has some. He has some. He didn't
Right.
sell all of it, but that's my point. Is that, like,
And
not
it's
every
nearly impossible to do that.
no, it's not.
It's
But
below
it isn't
1%.
easy. It isn't easy. It isn't
No,
easy.
it's
But
not. It's definitely
I'm
not.
just saying that that is the only time that I see to where it makes sense. But it's also getting back into Bitcoin at some point. So, if you're not good at that, then stay away
What
from
if you
it.
miss it and you gotta buy it back higher?
Well, then you took that risk.
Yeah, don't
You
take
took
the
that
risk.
risk. So
Don't take the risk.
that's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is do not take it.
Yeah,
But
some people
anyway.
do very well doing it.
But some people do really bad.
Yeah.
Ethereum devs prepare for final Pectra test on the new hoodie testnet. So this is crazy because they launched it on their Sephora. I think it's called Sephora or something like that. They launched it on their Sephora testnet and it was awful. Like everything went wrong. It got hacked. It got this. But then they started the new testnet where they just forked Ethereum again with the hoodie testnet, which is a brand new testnet. And then they launched this Pectra update and it works great. And they can't figure out why that is. So I'm a little worried for this Ethereum upgrade to happen, and they're potentially shooting for April 25th. So I don't know. So it wasn't just Sefolia. It was why do they gotta have these weird freaking names? Holetsky as well. Are you worried about the Ethereum update? That's because this update's going to be absolutely huge.
No.
The chains like Arbitrum and Base. You're not worried?
Yeah, but no, because they're gonna like hyper test this and back test it so many times. They know what the risk is if they release something with any type of, hole or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
personally worried.
It might just get postponed. I mean, remember the merge that got postponed several times. And eventually it happened, but they just got to make sure that it is there's no exploits or possible like holes in the upgrade and all that stuff, and they'll do that because that's what they're good at.
Yeah, I think this definitely should be postponed. This will be if something does happen though. Think about what it does to our potential bull market, right? Let's just say this launches April 25th. Something happens on May 8th, right? What that would do to ETH? That could drop ETH in half. Because ETH right now hasn't been hacked. Nothing has happened in a long time. And you got a lot of TradFi guys who coming in now who are in ETH maybe for the first time. That would scare the shit out of them. That would.
I'm not worried about it because I know that they're not going to put out a product that they don't feel 1,000% confident in.
I think they should definitely postpone this. I don't think
they will.
Should be a day.
They better. I mean, like they know better than us. You know what I mean? So like they're going to postpone it if it needs to be postponed.
But the fact that unexpected issues like that scares me. I don't think you should launch this on testnet if something like this is even possible, right?
Yeah,
because it's a public testnet. So obviously they did this from private testnets, right? So when you're going to launch on a public testnet, it should already be working.
Yeah, I mean, it says if successful, meaning if the back testing is successful and all these things. So that's a big if, right? So that date, like I've seen the Ethereum Foundation or core developers push dates back several times, and they're going to continually do it until they feel, like I said, 1,000% confident because they know what's at stake.
Yeah, for sure. Miles Dorcher says Ethereum is the least profitable it has been in a long time. ETH burns trending to 0. So well, that's the thing. So it's a little bullish in my eyes though, because Ethereum is still burning. And no one's using the chain. I mean, I just used it a little bit ago and I paid 49 cents for a transaction, which some people would say was expensive, but it's like almost cheap. It's like really cheap.
Did they do like mini upgrades to bring gas prices down?
It's just no one's using the chain right now.
Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, I've noticed it too. Like, because if I were to send from Ethereum to like my wallet, like or my bank or whatever, like to Coinbase or something, right? I'd just be like, God, I don't want to pay the freaking gas fee. And then I look at it, I'm like, okay, not too bad actually.
Yeah,
weird.
It's almost free. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason not to build an Ethereum for some of these larger entities, right? Like, I think the days of $150 gas fees are gone or behind us. I don't think that happens because why use it when you can use something like Base?
Yeah, look at the comment from Tanvir Darnia. I think they did 100K in revenue last week. I read that too. 100,000. the whole Ethereum chain.
Wow.
Yeah, and what
Damn.
Pump Fund's probably doing, picked it back up to at least, like, I would say $2 million in revenue again a day. Pump Fund, their peak was 17 million a day.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
during the Trump and Libra craze
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So
And ETH
average,
made 100K in a week.
oh, the whole chain, the whole chain. Like, that's
Craziness. All right, this is the last thing here. Merle is on BNB chain and PancakeSwap for the trading competition. So, guys, if you are a trader on BNB, do some Merle swaps. It can be a couple bucks, it doesn't matter, but you'll be pushed into this trading competition of $50,000 for participants. Come and join the crazy season on BNB chain. So BNB has been one of the few places where you can actually make money, and that's probably why we're not making money, because we're not like jumping to these places. Like, we should have jumped on when 4 launched. We should have been over there. And, it might not have been to participate in these meme coins, but like when you have volume like that, and we've seen that what happened with Solana is the infrastructure goes up, right? You had, Radium go up, you had Jupiter go up, you had all these coins on Solana go up, and it might have been a good idea to get into something like PancakeSwap or get into other stuff while 4 was at its peak.
yeah. I thought about that too, and I also thought about, being involved in multiple ecosystems and kind of just
Yeah.
checking, because I think that's the problem with people right now, is that like there's no patience, including I feel it
Yeah.
myself, is that
Me
like
too.
whenever you're like trying to trade, like let's say Odin.fund, like the volume there is pretty slow, right? So like you go over there, you get into a trade, you feel like, oh damn, I got into a good position, there's a couple big red candles, then like you sit there and you're like, okay, like do something, like move. Like do something. But if
Yeah.
you were to like have your portfolio in Odin, you have a portfolio in Abstract, to be honest, like Abstract has bounced back pretty damn well with some of their meme tokens. I don't know about Barachain. I felt like was kind of not the best experience the whole time, but like, and I don't want to say Solana, even though they're the freaking thing, but like, let's say that like you have another BNB, right? So you got 3 there. Now you can kind of rotate and be like, okay, I got into a good position over here on Odin. I'm in a good position in all 3 of these. Then you can kind of check and see where's your opportunity every morning. You know what I mean? And be patient.
Yeah.
Because now, you're not just sitting there staring at like the Odin chart, or you're not sitting there just staring at one, like the Abstract only. Now you have everything spread out into ecosystems that at least have some sort of, because like even though Odin's slow, it's still, there's spurts of energy. Same thing with Abstract, and we know BNB has that. So that could be like a strategy to have.
Yeah, 100%. No, I completely agree. Yeah. What do you think about Merle though? Over there, are you going to participate in this?
So I'm gonna take a look at it and see, where I could, come in and maybe benefit from this and see like more than anything, I think this is great for Merlin token because it's a co-marketing event with BNB, which BNB I think is going to be huge. There was a time this cycle to where I think a lot of people were kind of down on it. And then like once the Trump stuff started happening, like Trump is really like that organization. Eric, I think, is running it, right? Eric Trump.
Yeah, I think that's the rumor. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he is very friendly with like the Eastern entities. We're seeing that Tron, BNB. That's a good thing. As much as like, some people say, well, I don't know if I trust like Tron and all that stuff. Getting like the good relations, like, that will make them accountable. Like, you know what I mean? Because if they're going to participate in the American markets, they have to be straight, narrow, or at least, follow the regulations that come out here in the next couple of months. So, and that to me made me bullish on BNB, and the fact they launched the stable coin on there. So I think BNB is going to be huge. So that's big for Merlin to be able to co-brand with them.
Dude, it's so big. And if Merlin can be looked at as something that you potentially hold and you can earn on BNB chain, I mean, people are going to get, and if it could be eventually be a derivative of BNB, right? When BNB goes nuts, Merlin could actually get a lot of that attention as well, because Merlin is very similar to BNB, right? Like in a lot of ways of its EVM, it's quick, it's fast. I mean, Merlin could be eventually its own L1. I know it's considered an L2, but I mean, the way things are moving and the AI is moving, Merlin could be a lot bigger than BNB one day.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a big like kind of goal for them.
Yeah,
I think,
100%.
but I think that it's actually, to me, it's a little bit of a merge between Tron and BNB, because like what they had done on Merlin, like people aren't realizing is that like your TVL matters a lot, and what they did initially with the MBTC, which is the Merlin Bitcoin, is they branded Merlin with a wrapped Bitcoin. And new Bitcoin layer 2s, they actually approached like Merlin and asked them, hey, you know, could you stake your MBTC on our chain so we can have more TVL? You can earn this and that. And so what that does is that's similar to Tron, in my opinion, to where Tron wasn't being super heavily used in the beginning. What they did was they focused on their coin, their main coin, and adding TVL to that coin and whatever products they had directly relating to the coin, whether it's the, you know, algorithmic stable, whether it's like, you know, them putting, you know, their assets in different areas, whatever Justin Sun did, it worked, right? For the giving value to it. And then obviously, like, you know, having the chain used in the BNB aspect, that's what I think like Merlin's going to continually try to increase in terms of like their AI product and framework. We know a couple really cool RWA stuff that's coming there, and so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, dude, I didn't think about that. Merlin could be. I mean, you know, we do know that you know, Jeff might be following what Justin Sun is doing, right? Like that could be something. You're right. I mean, yeah, I didn't think about that. The Merlin could be the next Tron. And that's saying something. I don't care what people say. You can talk shit about Tron all you want. Tron's $1 billion coin.
Yeah, I agree.
Multi-billion-dollar coin. I want to go over the runes real quick, but a comment here. So I get Yagobi's coming from, but you're trying to maximize profits. We don't have a lot of experience, so maybe just hold Bitcoin. And that's kind of my point. If 100 of you guys try this, potentially one of you guys are going to be able to do it, right? It's really hard. It's just easier just to hold Bitcoin, especially for our audience. Trader audience, maybe a little different, but. All right, I want to jump into some rune stuff here real quickly. So I think runes, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think runes is one of the sectors that's really going to take off. Something that's really been beaten down, really getting kind of pushed, a lot of a negative attention, and I truly believe that the next big bull market is potentially going to have really, really big gains here for stuff like Dog, stuff like Magic Internet Money, stuff like Pups, and Billy and Lobo and Gizmo and so on and so on. What do you think? Do you think runes could really take advantage of potentially this bull run that I think we're about to enter?
I do, but I also think that the UX needs to continually get better, right? So something that came out was Odin.fun. I think that helps, right? If there's a way to integrate that, or Magic Eden even integrating the tech stack from Odin, having a partnership or whatever, I think that would help. The one thing that I will say is that runes has like because of the UX, it almost like forces community build, you know? So like you have the Dog community, you have the Billy community, you have the Magic Internet Money community, you have the Pups community, right? And to a very much smaller extent, you have Lobo's smaller community. You have like these, you know, Gizmo kind of derivative community of Pups and stuff. So because of that, I think that if the direction that I think is happening with like stuff on Solana, these daily runners get to like, you know, there's groups of people that are trying to push this. They've been making money. They extract money from people, but they kind of team up and say, hey, let's push this coin. Let's push this coin. You know, it goes to 4 million, 6 million, but it's not having the longevity that some of these other ones did. I think one of the, you know, the Vines coin was probably one of the last ones that had that, or something like that, right? And so I think if the space is smartening up, which it seems like, I think that they're going to look for community meme coins, because those are the ones that like hodl, and like there is no hodl community meme coin group of fungibles like the runes, in my opinion, because like they've gotten wrecked so much and they're still kind of, you know, screaming from the mountaintops a little bit. But I do think that the experience is going to have to continually get better, and so that could be Arch as a solution, Odin continually being a solution, and really Odin needs to level up. I would say about 3 levels, and if they can do that, big help there. And then the centralized exchanges really coming on board and co-marketing with them.
Yeah, let's talk about Odin for a second. Odin's gotten beaten down pretty bad in the last 2 weeks, like disgustingly bad. So we've seen Odin Dog, the peak was 30 million. I mean, we're talking about a 70% drop since then. Big Cat, we saw it get to around 9 million. So that's like
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah, 7-8 around there, and now it's dropped there on under 4. It even got even lower. I think it even hit 700K over the
Yeah,
weekend.
it
Right,
was something
so
crazy, but this is a good bounce back for it because it
yeah,
did get
100%.
it got to like 800, like you said,
Yeah,
800,000 around there, and for it to be at 3.8, that's a good bounce back for it. So that's a good sign for the BitCat people and maybe the BitDog. I'm a part of that community, so the BitDog guys, they're still fighting. Where
back
are
to
they at?
200K.
Okay,
A
so
bit of a growth here, so
yeah,
13%. So yeah,
yep.
man. And then Super X as well, but everyone's kind of waiting for them to drop their Odin was it aggregator? I guess it is. I
It
think
wouldn't
it's an
just be,
aggregator.
it wouldn't just be an Odin, but it would, Odin would be a highlighted one, but they would,
Yeah,
it's basically a kind of like a pump fund aggregator to Odin BNB, which, you know, if they'd be able to grab the users, some users from BNB as well,
yeah,
I think that if they roll that product out, that product actually with BNB users and Odin users, like the BNB users are obviously a lot bigger,
yeah,
but it would bring kind of like a joint kind of playground for Odin and the BNB coins because that's what the screenshot looked like.
yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of it's going to be like kind of like GMGN, right? How GMGN, when you're buying from there, you're buying from what's
Moonshot,
it?
Pump
Moonshot,
Fun.
Pump Fun, and a whole bunch of other ones, right? So everything is available to you, and a super X can do something like that. I mean, that'd be really big. But if you're adding Odin into that, I mean, what happens if GMGN comes out and they're like, yeah, we're going to add Odin? That would be absolutely massive.
Yeah, that would be
So,
big too. Yeah, you're right.
so there's a lot of catalysts that can come into Odin that could skyrocket some of these coins, but you got to remember too, some newer coins might come out of nowhere from this as well, right? So newer communities come in with new people entering, but still, could be a lot of great opportunities sitting here right at this. So I'm thinking runes and Odin runes. Some people could say ICP runes until they're on L1, right? And then potentially you're going to be bridging L1 runes to ICP with Odin. So yeah, I'm just kind of sitting back and just watching. I do have bags in both in L1 runes and Odin runes, so I'm kind of excited to see what happens next there. And then the last thing here, we're going to jump into some subnets. So this is what a lot of people has been waiting for with the subnets, and that's for the subnets to drop to 1 tau. Could you explain what that means for the subnets to be equal to 1 tau?
Yeah, so from my understanding is for all of these subnets, so subnets are basically like, would you describe, now you can describe them as like alpha token, but they're like
Yeah,
projects basically. They're
yeah,
they're they're frameworks for like AI compute, I guess you could say, or energy.
yeah,
But all of them have like a theme of AI, and now they all have their own alpha tokens, right? And so the average of all of them together, the idea is that they will get kind of like a magnet to equal to 1 tau. And
yeah.
so that's actually been pretty much on cue, right? In terms of like, because I think what like maybe like a month ago, 2 months ago, was at like 1.8.
1.7, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
and so it slowly kind of gravitated to like this almost 1. And so they say 3 months, 3 to 6 months
yeah,
after DTAL launches, which is kind of the start of these alpha tokens and stuff like that, is when some of these market caps of these subnets will kind of start to take off. And we've seen a little bit of an increase already in the top 2, right? With shoots being I think I saw it at like 24-25 million dollar market cap.
yeah.
So it started that trajectory up. And if you hit the USD on the top right there to kind of show there you go. And then you can kind of see, if you scroll down a little bit, you can see the market caps and see the top ones, because it should be, there it is. Like, so shoots underneath root, shoots is
Damn.
24, and then Targon is 16. So Targon 17 was kind of that toppy.
Yeah,
It was between Targon and shoots going back and forth. So this is a good sign that you see shoots at 24 million, because if that continues on to, let's say, 30, 35, then we've kind of, in my opinion, started to get into that phase that they're talking about, 3 to 6 months
yeah,
post DTAL, and you should start to see some of these other ones that have substance start to kind of follow shoots or whoever the leader is going to be.
yeah. Great job on that. I think you nailed it. Another thing to kind of follow too is that total volume. So this is root. 67% of its root, 32% is alpha. A month ago, it was like 90% root and 10% alpha. This is something to really pay attention to. If you can get
What's the
alpha,
percentage of root right now?
67.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, well, it was 90.
Yeah,
Right. So
it's happening basically.
it's happening. Yeah. So people are starting to pull
Deploy
out of
into
root.
the
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, root is just staking tau. So it's just you're buying 0, which is, you know, you're basically just staking your tau. You're getting a percentage as it's being mined. You're basically staking your tau to earn tau. So it's simple. The one root will always equal 1 tau at $264. So that's very safe, right? See, it's just flat line. But getting into stuff, and me, what I did, my strategy in the beginning, I'm getting hurt for it, was I didn't get into the bigger ones. I did put like 1 tau in here, 1 tau in here, but then I started to put 0.1 in all these, and I'm getting my face ripped off in a lot.
Are
of them.
you?
But yeah, I mean, some of them I'm down like 70,
to make you feel
80%.
better. To make you feel better, I'm not doing that much better. But the past couple of days, I think that that strategy is because of the 24 million. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it jumped
These
up.
are the only
from
ones
17
going
to
up.
24. Yeah.
You got to think though, if we're at 1.1 tau, or you know, this 90% that is the larger ones, and that was a mistake, you know. And this is a learning experience for me, right? So I'm okay with paying tuition for this because I truly believe.
Well, I think it can work out for you.
Doing.
It can work out for you because, like, let's say that like Shoots and Targan, let's say Shoots gets to like 200 million, and Targan gets to like 110 million. Then a lot of these other ones, you'll have a lot of like 50. You know, 30, 50, 60, 70, you know, so it can work out. It's just, you know, because your whole idea, it seems, behind that was to kind of spray and pray, right?
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And that was probably the wrong decision. The wrong decision was probably getting to Shoots, Target, and property. I'm sorry, and trading network, and then Bitmind as well. Maybe not Bitmind, but it's just a complete fall off after Bitmind, right? So it's really just the top 3
for now,
and that could just continue. But like, so I didn't realize too is how fast these subnets are going to come in. So we're seeing a new subnet every couple days, and if this stays like this, there's no room for anything to grow. Everything's going to go down. So these new subnets can, you know, if one of these market caps for these subnets goes to 1 million, and you know we're still around this one, and then it has to come from somewhere else, right?
But the subnets get more expensive every time a subnet comes on. I thought it gets more expensive.
It's like 300K now.
No, well, it was like 67, which is unknown. It actually launched like right after detail started, and they paid 115,000. So it actually gets more expensive.
Okay. Well,
I mean that's what I read. Maybe what I read is wrong.
I heard it's getting cheaper and cheaper. I don't know.
I'll look into it though. If it gets more expensive, that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
But if it gets cheaper, that's really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we could potentially see 100 subnets by like, you know, at the end of April, the way it's going. I mean, you know, a month ago we saw 63 and now we're at 81. So yeah, it's a little scary when they're saying that it has to stay 1-to-1, unless Tau does a 3x, which would help out a lot, right? Because then eventually you can see a lot of 3x's here. So guys, this is very, very new. I mean, we're talking D-Tau is like 45 days old at this point. So when you're getting into stuff, be very careful. The safest ones are probably Shoots, Targon, and Trading Network. You know, where'd this one come from? I own this. I don't even know. It must be like a 5x, but I didn't have much in it. It might be like 0.5 now for me. I think I put like 0.1 into it. Celsium. But yeah, man. So definitely keep an eye on. I truly believe what Virtuals did in December and January, Tau will eventually do. Whether that's going to be spring, fall, winter, I don't know. But I do know that Tau is getting halving in December. So I'm definitely going to be buying DCAing into subnets going into December. But yeah, man, what a show. My voice hurts from talking so goddamn much. But I think we had a great show today, guys. 203 people in here. Appreciate every single one of you guys who are coming here every single day, man. You guys are absolute legends, and appreciate you guys.
100%. You guys are going to make it, especially the ones that show up consistently. And we appreciate your support. And if you could check out our partners, that we would greatly appreciate that. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tooling for Bitcoin Layer 1 assets, most specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your Ordinals from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Chain to Base to Abstract to Arbitrum, multiple different EVMs, and eventually in Solana as well. And you're going to be able to use eventually Agent Hustle to do that for you, so you don't have to, get all the tedious stuff done by him and not yourself. And don't forget they have a TGE for their Bitcoin rune called Emblem Vault, Founder Vaults. And you can actually trade that in kind of a pre-sale environment. They are an ERC 721 right now on OpenSea. And then once it comes to their TGE in September, you're going to be able to open those vaults, and I think it's 2 million runes will go into your Bitcoin wallet. So it's really cool. They have a different, unique dynamic to their kind of pre-sale of it. But you can learn about all that at emblem.vision. And BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, some Bitcoin, and 6 Bitcoin blocks, and you can start placing bets in their markets right away. You can place bets in their Blitz markets that Shizzy, I think you might have won, maybe lost. I'm not sure because it went up and then down.
Good idea.
But anyhow, they're going to have really, really cool stuff for you guys to be able to benefit from just an individual user. If you have a good following with their create your own markets, you're going to be able to earn up to 1.5% on that. A lot of cool stuff. So we are looking for 5 to 10 beta testers. So, message our X account. We'll try to get you into that program. You can learn all about this at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance is the perps and leverage dex of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Soon you will be able to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungible tokens on Hemi mainnet. You're going to be able to trade Sats, Ordi, Doggo to the Moon, stuff like that, as well as tokens outside of the ecosystem like XRP, Tau. So super exciting stuff. You're going to also be able to earn passively by staking in vaults, and a lot of amazing stuff there. We will have a pre-recorded kind of roundtable with some experienced traders that you can try to pick the brain of. And also, you can actually use their platform right now for kind of testnet practice trading. And if you just do one transaction, your address will go into a raffle to win some of their TGE once their token drops. You can learn all about this at artura.finance. And Fluid Tokens they're basically a group of UTXO wizard devs. They're constantly releasing new stuff in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Their main product right now, in my opinion, is the staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1. First to do it, to offer retail users staking vaults. So if you have an Ordinal collection that you're the founder of, or you have etched a rune and you have an established community, you can have Raul create a staking vault for you. He's done it for 2 of the Odin runes. So that's cool about Odin, is that once it does reach bonding, it etches on Bitcoin Layer 1, and you can actually bridge those runes to Bitcoin Layer 1. And Pep Odins and Sparks has both created staking vaults for their community. So if you're interested in that, make sure you reach out to us or them to get a staking vault created for your established community. It has to be an established community of some sort. You can learn more about all of this at fluidtokens.com, sorry. And then Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a retail user and you want to swap for Doggo to the Moon, you can do so at merlinswap.org, as they have a strong liquidity pool there. You can utilize your Merlin tokens or your BTC, your rep BTC, and swap for Doggo to the Moon and other runes as well. I think they have the bitmap token there as well. And don't forget, very important, if you have Merlin tokens and you want to participate in securing the chain, you can do so with their proof of stake security for their chain, and you can earn 15% APR with your Merlin tokens. And they're going to be adding Bitcoin very soon as well. And they will update us, and we will update you guys as soon as we get the APR for that. But you can learn all about this at merlinchain.io. And lastly, don't forget about our integrated partners in Foxy AI, building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and the first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker, which we should be picking back up the live stream next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Excited to get back in there with Glasshopper and his buddy. Last time we tried to do like a 3-point kind of secure area, which was very, very fun. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, or I think they also accept Phantom Wallet and MetaMask as well. And then you can choose your clan. Everybody's invited. Super fun. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2. You're going to find the cheapest Ordinals around at Ordinal Hive. And guys, we are so grateful for you. And thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man, as always. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have NordVPN, security and privacy. Guys, if you're going to these websites, if you're going to these degen ass websites, you are giving them your IP. You're telling them exactly where you live. If you guys have noticed, if you do a sign in on Yahoo or Google, sometimes you'll get, it'll say, like, for me, for instance, it'll say, oh, new sign in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm like, oh, I didn't have my VPN on. You should think about this information going to other sites, right? Sites like you're buying tokens on and stuff. You don't want that, guys. Get a VPN. I highly recommend Nord. It is my personal favorite. It's $3 a month. I think I paid for the year. I think it was like $36 or something like that. So highly recommend Nord. But if you don't want to get Nord and want to get a free one, there is free ones out there. You can go find them. I don't know what's good. I preferably just pay the money and just get Nord. So if you're interested, click our link here. That'll take you to that. And if you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But do not wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible and get them to use our link. I think the festival ones are like $500, while the industry pass is like $1,500. The industry pass gets you all 3 days. The festival pass just gets you the first 2 days, I believe. And there's another pass too, because they do have an event afterwards. For that other one, I think you get the festival and then you get that. But I think with industry, you get everything. So definitely get the industry if you can afford it and interested. And if you're going to that event or any event and you need merch for that, click our store tab. That'll take you to our store. All done through a third party. We have hats, jackets, shirts, and much, much more. Check everything out here at OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear traps. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.